They never see it coming. One day you're everywhere, messages answered, meetings attended, presence predictable. The next you're a ghost, not gone, not silent, just untouchable. Your name becomes a question mark in their minds. Your absence eats at their focus. Every empty seat, every unanswered call, every delayed reply becomes a pressure point they can't stop pressing. This is not retreat. This is the rewiring of power itself, where attention is currency and you hold the vault keys. While they scramble for access, you move unseen, recalibrating the battlefield, until the moment you choose to reappear, sharp, rare, and impossible to ignore. By then, it's too late. You don't chase control. You become it. Trick 1. The oxygen cut. Oxygen is the first thing your body begs for when fear takes hold. Every panic signal, every mental collapse is tied to breath. This is why predators remain calm. They control their air supply while everyone else wastes it. Most people treat breath as a reflex. That's why they break under stress. The oxygen cut is the deliberate denial of breath to train your nervous system to operate in the red zone. It rewires the panic threshold in your brain. Instead of associating oxygen deprivation with danger, your system learns to equate it with heightened control. This tactic removes the fear of suffocation, and with it, the fear of pressure itself. You become calm where others choke. Execution. Find a controlled safe space with no distractions. Sit upright, shoulders loose. Take a deep, steady inhale for 4 seconds, then exhale completely over 4 seconds until your lungs feel empty. On empty lungs, begin your hold. The first wave of discomfort will come from rising cal, not lack of oxygen. Ignore it. Stay motionless. Count slowly past your first impulse to breathe, aiming for at least 5-10 seconds beyond it. Release the breath only when your mind, not your body, says so. Repeat for 5 cycles. Perform this twice a day, morning and night. Progressively add environmental stress. Hold your breath during stair climbs, in cold air, or while holding conversation. Maintain complete facial neutrality, no gasping, no visible strain. The aim is to starve your body of oxygen while feeding your mind the signal that this is normal territory. Result: after 5 days, your internal alarm will delay. Situations that once triggered shallow breathing, arguments, public speaking, sudden noise, will feel muted. After 10 days, your reaction speed under pressure will sharpen because your brain won't waste resources on panic. In moments of confrontation, your calm will feel unnatural to others, even unsettling. You'll move with precision in scenarios where the average person freezes. Over time, you'll become unshakable in environments that overload others. Oxygen will no longer control you. You'll control it. Trick 2. Neural blackout. Your brain operates like a city, power flowing constantly through endless circuits. In high-pressure situations, most people let every light stay on, flooding their mind with noise, doubt, and irrelevant signals. Neural blackout is the art of cutting all non-essential brain activity on command, leaving only a single operational pathway active. It's a mental kill switch, shutting off emotional chatter, memory clutter, and sensory overload so that all energy is routed to the single task at hand. This isn't meditation, it's a combat function. You're not seeking peace. You're stripping the brain to its raw operating core, so there's no room for fear, hesitation, or distraction. Once mastered, you'll appear cold, inhuman, and unreactive under any circumstance. Execution. Sit in a controlled environment with 0 interruptions. Choose a fixed point in front of you. Something small, no larger than a coin. Focus on it with unwavering gaze. Begin slow, deliberate breathing. 5 seconds inhale, 5 seconds exhale. As you breathe, internally label every thought that arises as noise. Whether it's an image, a sound, a memory, immediately visualize pulling a master breaker switch and watch that thought go dark. Every time a new one appears, cut it the same way. Continue until the only thing in your mind is the point in front of you. The moment you can hold this blackout for 60 seconds, stand and apply it under motion. Walking, in conversation, during music, or while people try to talk to you. The test is whether you can keep the blackout under verbal and environmental attack. Perform this drill for 10 minutes daily, progressively increasing the duration of your total blackout control. Result: within 7 days, you'll notice your reactions in social or stressful situations becoming unnervingly slow, but in a controlled, predatory way. The absence of mental noise will make others feel as though you're studying them at a level they can't access. In conflict, you'll feel no rush to speak, no flinch at raised voices, no spike in pulse from surprise. After 14 days, neural blackout becomes a switch you can flip mid-chaos, erasing panic before it can rise. This ability unnerves opponents, disorients manipulators, and forces aggressors to reveal their next move before you respond. Eventually, you'll be unreachable, not because you're ignoring the world, but because you've mastered the ability to shut it out entirely when it doesn't serve you. Trick 3. Phantom logic. Most people think in straight lines, A leads to B leads to C. That predictability makes them easy to read, easy to corner, and easy to defeat. Phantom logic is the weapon of becoming unreadable by breaking the visible link between cause and effect in your decisions. It's the practice of moving like smoke, appearing to follow reason, yet pivoting to actions no one anticipates. This isn't randomness. It's engineered unpredictability built on a hidden framework that only you know. The human brain craves patterns. When none appear, it freezes, scrambles for meaning, and becomes vulnerable to your lead. Phantom logic rewires you to act in ways that appear irrational, yet serve your exact design, making you impossible to manipulate, trap, or anticipate. Execution. Start with small, low-stakes scenarios. In a conversation, agree with a point, but then follow it up with an unrelated action that still somehow benefits you. For example, agree to attend a meeting, then later redirect the meeting's location, timing, or purpose to something that shifts power toward you. Practice altering sequence logic. If someone expects step A, B, C, deliberately go from A to D, then return to B later. In private drills, write down 3 logical choices for a scenario, then pick a 4th that isn't on the list but still achieves the goal. Over time, remove obvious tells from your decision-making. No hesitation before pivots, no facial micro-expressions that give away your switching plans. Finally, test in competitive or manipulative environments. Deliver a move that makes them think you're vulnerable, then reveal it was a lure. Repeat this until acting in fractured, fluid logic becomes instinct. Result: within 10 days, people will stop predicting you. They'll stop trying. The mental strain of tracking your moves will exhaust opponents before you've even made a decisive play. You'll see hesitation in their eyes as they second-guess their next step, terrified you've already accounted for it. In negotiation, phantom logic keeps the advantage permanently on your side. Your offers and withdrawals never follow an obvious path, so no one knows when they've won or lost until it's too late. After 3 weeks, this unpredictability seeps into your entire presence. Friends, enemies, and strangers alike will stop treating you as predictable. And when they can't predict you, they can't control you. Trick 4. The vanish pattern. Power isn't only in presence, it's in absence. The vanish pattern is the calculated removal of your presence, attention, and accessibility at strategic moments to disrupt emotional dependency and reassert control. Most people overexpose themselves. Constant availability erodes perceived value and gives others a complete read on your habits. The vanish pattern weaponizes silence and absence, creating psychological scarcity. When your presence is suddenly withdrawn without warning, it triggers the brain's loss aversion reflex, the same system that panics over losing survival resources. That panic makes people chase, concede, or re-evaluate your worth. This tactic reshapes the balance of any relationship, professional, social, or intimate, by making you the one who controls access. Execution. Identify the cycles in which people expect your presence. Daily messages, habitual meetings, predictable responses. Begin by selectively withdrawing for short, unannounced periods, hours, then a day, then several days, without apology or explanation. Do not post online, do not hint at what you're doing, and do not respond to check-ins. When you reappear, act unaffected. No justification, no over-explanation. In conversations, practice micro-vanishes. Leave a discussion at its peak intensity, excusing yourself briefly, then returning later without referencing your absence. Combine this with delayed responses to digital communication. Wait until urgency peaks before replying, and keep your answer minimal. Over time, start layering vanish intervals with moments of high emotional weight. Withdraw right after delivering valuable insight or action. This amplifies the psychological imprint you leave behind. Result: after 1 week, people will start watching for your presence, waiting for your return. After 2 weeks, they'll begin to overcompensate when you appear, sharing more, offering more, trying harder to hold your attention. Within a month, your perceived value will have shifted. You will no longer be taken for granted. Instead, your absence will carry more weight than most people's presence. This tactic also hardens your internal state. You learn to resist the urge to explain yourself, breaking the social conditioning that makes you available. By mastering the vanish pattern, you make the world come to you. And in power games, the one being pursued always wins the results. Your mind was noisy, reactive, and predictable. You moved through the world on default settings, answering every ping, attending every conversation, showing up when summoned. Your attention was scattered, your presence diluted. In business negotiations, you over-explained. In conflict, you rushed to defend. In debates, you argued instead of dismantling. Now, your operating system has been rewritten. You no longer step into every arena, you choose them. That choice alone has multiplied your influence. Productivity is no longer about hours worked, it's about decisive impact points. Your daily output is sharper, condensed into precision moves that trigger disproportionate results. In high-stakes boardroom discussions, you speak last or not at all, letting silence suffocate the opposition until their confidence fractures. In debates, you no longer chase every counterpoint, you select one flaw in their logic and crush it with surgical focus. In conflict, you radiate calm rage, a stillness so controlled it forces others to escalate emotionally while you remain the unmoving wall. Psychologically, metrics have shifted. Clarity, up 65%. Your mind now filters noise instantly. Dominance up 80%. People lean forward when you enter, unsure when you'll speak or move. Mental speed doubled. You can process threats, strategies, and patterns in under half the time. Control near absolute. Your schedule, energy, and emotional triggers answer to you, not the world. You've become unreachable. Not because you're hiding, but because your value is no longer exposed on demand. And unbreakable. Not because you're invincible, but because every crack is now part of your design. The final code. They will remember you not for what you did, but for the spaces you left behind. Every absence you engineered was a silent incision, cutting into their expectations, rewiring their instincts to orbit you. The vanish pattern is not disappearance. It's control of perception, a power so quiet it feels like myth. You were never gone. You were everywhere in their thoughts, a phantom they could not summon, a shadow they could not catch. Now they will measure their moves in relation to you. Now they will wait without knowing they are waiting. You can walk back into any room, and time itself will lean forward to greet you. This wasn't absent. It was in possession at a distance. And now, you're no longer just a person in their world. You are the ghost in their system.